Wake up, wake up, wake up. It is the Mecca Media Morning Show. It is the sports with Auntie Sharp. I gotta talk about it. I can't breeze over it. I have to mention it. Well, my brother, Coach Prime, Coach Deion Sanders Prime, got beat up on by Utah this past Saturday. And it was brutal. But guess what? I got some interesting stats. Some interesting ones if you guys are, up on it. And if not, check this out. Yards per play. Colorado had 2.1 yards. Utah had 7.7. Colorado had 12 first downs. Utah had 25. The third down efficiency, meaning that, they advanced after the third down. Colorado was 3 for 16. Utah was 5 for 15. Colorado's quarterback got sacked 7 times. Utah's quarterback only got sacked once. Well, after the game, Deion, he gave his interview, and let's hear what he had to say.
This is bad. It's probably the worst beating I've ever had, except for when my mama whooped me as a kid. 422 yards rushing, you ain't winning. You're not winning. 300 yards, you're not winning. 250, you're not winning. It's not capable. Total offense, 140 yards, you're not winning. You're not winning. They had 587 yards of total offense. You're not winning. With that, special teams gave up a fake punt as well as a block punt. You're not winning. So all three phases, we got our butts kicked.
Yeah, Deion said he ain't had no whooping like that since his mama. Now, this is horrible. But you know what? We cannot forget who Coach Prime is. We cannot forget what type of coach he is. Yeah, I was reading some of the comments. Yeah, I did. Y'all talking about Shedeur is gone, Travis is gone. Okay. We get that. We understand that. And we see from the stats I just told you and that game. But we also know who Coach Prime is. And we also know how he get down as a coach. So let's not just give up so quick. And I get it. Y'all gonna always say what y'all say. But it is all right because just keep going. Because you got to remember, before he got to Colorado, they were 1-11. Okay? 1-11. Let's not forget that. Now, speaking about talking about the Sanders, let's talk about this past Sunday. They had my nephew, Shedeur. The Cleveland Browns had my nephew on the inactive roster talking about he had a hurt back. Now, I don't know if you've seen any of the videos, but my husband had to bring it to my attention that they were putting up the videos on social media showing that he was out there on the field before that game. And it didn't look like he had a hurt back. Now, that's some different things, people were putting out there. But I listened to, and my husband also brought it to my attention, a couple of other NFL players who are now commentators or YouTubers talking about how the NFL do and the shenanigans that they do and the stuff that they put in our face or give to us when they want to bitch a quarterback and say, my husband said something about it. Is it intestinal flu, baby, but it's really diarrhea? Right. Okay, yeah, intestinal flu and stuff like that. So I guess they want to paint another narrative when it comes to my nephew. I'm just saying, it seems like every time I turn around, especially here in northeastern Ohio, I'm talking about the fans and the different sports commentators and the naysayers. They take what's being fed to us from the Browns organization. I'm talking about the coaches and the different sports beat writers, and well, we listen to a lot of sports radio here in Cleveland, well, I do anyway, and I hear the different things, and you hear the people call in and everything, and I hear he's not ready, or he's not that good, and then they have the nerve to try to compare him and Dylan's stats, and that Dylan been in longer. Dylan was in college playing for 6 years. Okay, 6. And he bounced around to several different teams. For all the fans that's out there who was buying into all the things that is being fed to us from the media, from the naysayers, from the beat writers, the sports commentators, the YouTube football experts, saying that he's not ready to be a franchise quarterback, or he's not ready to be a starter, or that he needs to learn, as we done heard, the playbooks, the plays, all the different things, or even the pot shots that was taken after he only played in 2 preseason games. 2. One was with teammates that's not even there anymore, and another one, people trying to pass by like he didn't do great in that game. And before he even got to the NFL, which was not that long ago, I don't even think it's been a full year since he's not played college ball. All right? You had college coaches talking about him. You had NFL prospects talking about him, and none of it was in any kind of negative way at all. Check out what they had to say.
Shedeur Sanders is the best quarterback in college football. If I was an NFL GM and I had a pick to where I needed a quarterback, he'd be the first quarterback taken in this year's draft.
I admire Shedeur from the standpoint that he's playing the position the way it's always been intended to play. You know, rhythm, timing, footwork, all matching up. And then you put on top of that the ability to extend plays looking to throw. He's not a runner first, but he is capable. But extending plays and keeping his eyes downfield is pretty impressive.
Stepping in, taking hits as he's getting the ball out, and just like it's that's a whole NFL thing right there. And so I have a lot of respect, and it's going to take our best. I have a lot of respect for him. I think the energy and notoriety and the juice that he's brought to that program, I think he's doing a great job. I have a lot of respect for him.
And beware, because this guy's going to play in this league.
Okay, so there's the proof. And you wonder why Auntie Shar and the aunties abroad and everywhere in the NFL and everywhere else, why we keep going the way we going, why we refuse to give up that white flag. Because guess what? My nephew is everything that he said he was. He showed you who he was. And I am not trying to hear about the arrogance and not participating and all that type of stuff. At the end of the day, we gonna ride and die as long as I'm breathing for Shedeur. So, Cleveland, y'all can be on that crazy stuff if you want to, because I know November the 1st is coming up. And you know what? Y'all can go ahead and trade him the deadline or whatever. Go ahead and do that and miss your mark. And I will hope y'all wouldn't be that stupid to do that. But if you do, it's all right, because guess what? Y'all just lost the aunties. And for those of you talking about how he got hurt, talking about was it because he was carrying the clipboard? He had all the aunties on his back. You know what? It is what it is. But I'm going to tell you like this. We ain't hurting him. We gonna lift him up, if anything. Let's just go into week 8 of the NFL. And let's start out with the Bum Browns. Yep, I call them the Bum Browns. But you see what jersey I got on? You see it, okay? I have to call you the Bum Browns because I done heard the fans and heard different people, and I done heard the radio sports people got the nerve to talk about that Myles Garrett should not be upset when Myles Garrett took the money to stay in Cleveland, even though he know what type of team Cleveland is as far as their offense is concerned. Well, guess what? Auntie Shar got you, Myles. I got you. Myles had 5 sacks. 5. And it did not do anything for that offense. That defense did whatever they needed to do to turn over the balls, to get the balls back. And the offense was awful. Horrible. Okay, now let's go to the stats. Let's pull up Auntie's notes. Let's see, the Patriots whooped on the Browns 32-13. I was really upset when I seen that the Browns, after they got their touchdown, they tried to go and do a 2-point conversion. I'm not understanding why did Stefanski think that Dillon Gabriel was going to be even able to even pull that off, even if he do the short passes or whatever. I knew that was, what the one coach say? After all the tricks and ponies was gone. Come on now, Stefanski, you knew better. You knew way better than to do that. And then you had the nerve not to get your extra points. I'm sitting here telling my husband, what's going on? Get the points. Why is y'all trying to do something that you know you ain't capable of doing? Especially against Drake May, against the Patriots. What is wrong with you, Stefanski? What is wrong with the Browns? I'm not understanding in no way, shape, fashion, or form. It was ridiculous. Let's see what the quarterback stats was. Let me refer to the notes. Okay, Drake May, he had 18 completions out of 24, 282 passing yards, and 3 touchdowns. Dillon Gabriel, he had 21 completions out of 35, 156 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And then Stefanski had the nerves to get up there on that podium after the game and basically said, I'm going to need y'all to shut up and quit hoping and wishing that I'm going to push Shedeur in, because Dillon Gabriel is my guy and I'm going to stick with him after their bye. Because, you know, everybody's been talking about it. You hear everybody, especially in my area, that he's going to push Shedeur in. He's letting you know, no, I'm not. I told my husband, I said, look, now y'all, this is just Auntie, and I just don't know if y'all agree with me, but I'm just saying, just think about it. I said, babe, I wonder what does Stefanski got on Jerry, and what does he have on Haslam? Because if this had been any other coach, he would have been gone with this shenanigans and bull crap. I'm telling y'all, it's something in the air. It's something in the game, because I'm not understanding at all.
You mean Barry and Haslam?
Yeah,
Jerry Haslam.
I said Jerry. Barry and Haslam. Yeah, Andrew Barry. I'm just saying, y'all, Stefanski got something on there, because he's standing 10 toes down. He don't care what's going on. I said what I said, and it's going to be what it's going to be. All right, so let's just go ahead and let's talk about the New York Giants and the Eagles. That was a good game. Guess what? The Super Bowl champions, they got their lick back. They said, you know what? Y'all think y'all doing something? I see you, Jackson Dart. All right, Scatterboo.
What was the score?
But Jalen Hurts was like, no. This ain't how it's going down. So, the Eagles won. The score was 38-20. Well, I thought the game was super exciting. But when I seen Scatterboo get hurt, I thought that was like, ooh. Babe, what was it? It was
a hip drop tackle.
A hip drop tackle, which is an illegal tackle. That's what it looked like to me. That's not being what it was, but that's what it looked like. And Scatterboo, I think he's out for the rest of the season. And we do know that him and Jackson Dart, that is New York Giants, that's their hope. That's their excitement, even though they have the same record as the Cleveland Browns. Well, that injury, it doesn't look good at all. That illegal tackle and the way that he came down, it was very awkward. Babe, just show it to him. Yeah, y'all see it, right? I don't think he'll be back this season, even though Him and Jackson Dart, they are the future of the New York Giants. It's just not going to happen this year. Yes, it was exciting to see them play, even though they only have a 2-6 record. Well, we got some other exciting teams that's going on this year. I don't think anybody really has been paying attention to, and we haven't heard about this team since a Manning was playing for it. I'm talking about that Indianapolis Colts. They are killing it in the AFC South. They is just doing their thing. They are 7-1. Let's talk about the players. I don't want to mess up their names because I don't want nobody coming for me. But we hear about some of these other players, but I need y'all to understand what's going on in Indianapolis. And with that being said, I'm going to my notes. Mr. Daniel Jones, quarterback, he has finally found himself a home. And they have the best running back in the league right now, and that is Mr. Jonathan Taylor. They got some awesome wide receivers over there. Wait a minute, let me make sure I got their names right. Looking at the notes. That's Michael Pittman Jr., and that is Josh Downs. Y'all need to watch out because I believe that they are some good contenders this year. And I know the Manning brothers is like, whoa, because you know we haven't heard about them Indianapolis Colts for a while. Now, I got to give some big shout outs to some of the aunties out there because I've been looking at the YouTube comments and the reels, and I'm telling you, you aunties are showing up and showing out. Check out this picture that one of the aunties put in there to let us know that she is watching and she's rooting for Shedeur. Till next time, week 9, I'll check you guys later.
Fire TV. Hey, check this out, your boy Benzino. Listen, I need y'all to go to thatsfiretv.com. Choose a platform to experience the hottest new app. That's Fire TV is on Roku, Amazon, Android, iPhone, Apple TV. All right? All you got to do is just lock in. It's hundreds of movies for just $0. That's right, no money at all. It's spelled THATZ. That's FireTV.com. Fire TV.
This has been a podcast from the Mega Media Social Media Network.